Warrior Wrestling is providing wrestling fanatics from all over the motu a chance to experience the electrifying atmosphere of the sport without having to go all the way to the States. Our reporter Mare Haimonariki caught up with a couple of Māori athletes that had their eyes on the coveted belt and title of Toa Kaimamau o Aotearoa.
Wrestling. No, not the kind you see at the Olympics, the more entertaining version. And there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Number one, you have to be a great athlete. This is very hard, regardless of what people say. Number two, you've got to have a certain look, a certain charisma about you.
Oh no, he's not. Surely not.
And number three, you have to be passionate about this. This is not easy, so it really has to be your life if you want to do this professionally.
Te Raukura Hawk or T-Hawk of Ngāpuhi, Ngāti Whātua and Tainui has been wrestling for 7 years now, dazzling the crowd with his electrifying energy and acrobatic manoeuvres.
450 splash!
I like the crazy stuff, I like the flips. I am the small guy in the ring, so I got to get everything else to kind of add to it.
He works in retail but says everything he does out of the ring contributes to making his dream to become a professional wrestler a reality.
There were a bit bumps in the road. I had injuries after injuries, but now that I've kokati o Kuki Airani katoa, te whutuporo pā, te whutuporo ka whai tēnei huarahi, everything's gone well so far.
Bronson Burgess of Ngāti Kahungunu ki te Wairoa is a criminal defence lawyer by day, but by night he transforms into Maximilian, a tall, lean, athletic machine, ready to do some damage and make a name for himself in the industry.
Great showing of ring experience there, ring positioning.
I had always wanted to express myself creatively somehow, and this was the perfect avenue to do it.
He's been under the tutelage of Antony at Warrior Wrestling for 18 months now, training for a whole year before officially stepping foot in the ring.
I had to prove that I was ready to perform in front of people, and there's a high standard of excellence that's expected at Warrior Wrestling, but they gave me the tools and the time that I needed to get on that level.
Khan and Aaron Henare started Warrior Wrestling only 2 years ago. Having 2 decades of experience between them, mostly wrestling overseas, they wanted to bring the hype to the entertainment sport here in Aotearoa.
When we first started, our very first event was at Onehunga Rec Centre in a small little gymnasium. And now October 15th, we're about to do Westlake Boys High School, which is a big venue with about $100,000 worth of equipment and cameras and everything. So just in that short time, we've already grown exponentially.
But what are they all putting their bodies on the line for? It's this, the coveted and rail-engraved belt that crowns the champion.
I looked around all of New Zealand sports and I never really see the Māori culture ingrained in the belt when I think it really should be.
I appreciate the thought process behind Warrior Wrestling's creation of the belt. Obviously they wanted to have a belt that demonstrated that somebody's the best, and I appreciate that they thought, let's put kupu Māori, toi Māori on it. Let's embrace the culture, but also recognise the original and authentic name of our country.
The belt is currently held by Pat Shisk, but these 2 Māori warriors are confident it will be in their possession in the near future.
Kariaka ki te tuatu, ki tērā, ko te whainga tuatahi kia kimi i tērā title. When it's all said and done, hopefully I can say that I can put that to my resume, and then ka haere tā wāhi ki ngā kitupito te motu, to defend it, to retain it, or to be the champ at the end of the day.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done. I've only been a wrestler for 6 months, but my progress tells me that it is in my future at some point. I got to put in the work, but I'm confident that Warrior Wrestling will give me the skills and experience that I need to get there.
Bronson and T, they'll be ready to go overseas in no time. All they have to do here is sharpen their skills and then they'll be ready to go abroad. I see bright futures for both of them.
So forget the WWE e te whānau, the chills and thrills of Warrior Wrestling is right here in our backyard. Mare Haimonariki, he Ao Tapatahi.